Here's 5 things that I wish I'd known in my 20s. Not to change anything, but maybe just to be a bit gentler with myself. The first one. Thinking I needed to have it all figured out. I didn't. I still don't. And to be honest, it really doesn't matter. Number 2. Recognising that being liked isn't the same as being respected. And chasing approval from people can often cost you more than you realise. Number 3. Realising that I didn't need to compare myself or my life to anyone else's. We never see the full picture of somebody else's life. We just see a carefully curated reel. Number 4. Understanding and realising that people, not everybody, needs access to me. Boundaries aren't walls. They're just there in place to protect the things that matter to you. Number 5. Realising that the life I wanted was built through small, ordinary moments, ordinary choices. Not big moments, but small, consistent moments. I was never behind like I thought I was. I was just learning. I was growing. And that's exactly how it was always meant to be. Let me know what you think in the comments.
You know, now that I'm 60 and I look back on when I was in my 20s and 30s, there's a few things that I wish I knew then that I know now. The biggest lesson that I've learned over the years is that we are not as important as we think we are. That we put way too much stock into what other people think, and, we think that the job can't live without us. I used to take vacations and I would kill myself before I went on vacation because God forbid that I didn't get all these things done, because if I wasn't there, it wouldn't get done. Or that everything had to be just right, because if I didn't do it, it couldn't be done right. All of these things, or like if you're in a restaurant, you really do believe that you're the center of attention when in all actuality, people are just thinking about themselves and their own lives. We're not the center of the universe. And once you realize that, you can kind of relax, because it ain't that serious. It's really not. But the earlier you learn this, the better, y'all. It's really not. Life is it can be calm and relaxed if you get that message earlier. Just calm down. It's not that serious. All right, love y'all. Bye.
I wish more women over 60 knew that it is okay for us to redefine ourselves at this stage in our life. I wish that we knew, and I wish that I knew, that just because I've done it forever doesn't mean I have to do it for the rest of my life. I wish that I had known earlier, and now that over 60, I've decided to know that I can try new things and I can not worry about failing, and that my being a people pleaser and doing what everyone else wanted me to do is not necessary. I wish that I had understood better that my choices are just as valuable as anybody else's choices. And what I want to do is just as valuable as what everybody else wants to do. Why I deprioritized my wishes and prioritized everybody else's in the world, I'm not quite sure. And I really didn't do them any favors. I certainly didn't do myself any favors. And I wish I had understood it. And I'm just hoping that there's a woman out there in her 30s, 40s, and 50s will take a look at all this gray hair and think, maybe she's gone a mile or two, and maybe I should just consider that.
You think everyone else has the perfect career, perfect relationship, perfect apartment with matching furniture. Meanwhile, half those people are one unexpected expense away from eating cereal for dinner.
I just turned 60, and if you are younger than me, please listen to this video. Take just a minute of your time and listen to this video, because I'm going to share with you things that I wish that I knew at 20 or even 30. If he is not respecting you, he's never going to respect you. Number two, if he's ignoring your calls, if he says that he's too busy, if you reach out to him and he texts you or calls you the next day, run. Number three, and this is super hard because I know a lot of people, I know we're supposed to be about forgiveness and we're supposed to be about, giving people a second chance. But I do believe that if he cheats once, he's going to cheat again. And then the next thing is, it doesn't matter how much somebody says to you to ignore. If there are signs early on that he's not respecting you, that he's not giving you the attention that you need, that he's belittling you, that he's telling you you're not good enough. So many times guys do this and they don't even realize that there's an issue. But a guy will sometimes say, oh no, those pants, these pants would look better on you. That's such a sign of so much wrong with them. Not wrong with you, but wrong with them. Don't ignore those things. And here's the final thought. If you're in a place where you're feeling like you're ignoring a lot of things, if your friends are saying things like he's going to change, if your mom or your sister says things like he's going to change, you're not here to change someone. They're not a project. When you meet someone, if something is wrong, if your gut is telling you something is wrong and you're waiting for them to change, no, run. I love you all. I hope this helps.
Today I turned 50. You are a woman anywhere in your 40s. Here is what I need you to understand so that you don't lose another decade. And I'm telling you, this is going to sting a little bit. Being needed is not the same thing as being loved. Being useful is not the same thing as being cherished. And being the one that everyone depends on is not the same thing as being truly seen. And if you are not careful, you can spend years, even decades, being useful to everyone around you while slowly disappearing from your own life. And that is the part that I wish I had understood in my 40s. So if no one has told you this yet, I will. You do not need to earn love by being endlessly capable. You do not have to carry everything to prove you are strong, and you definitely do not have to wait for someone else to notice your value before you start treating yourself like you actually have it. Please don't wait until 50 to learn that.
Here's the truth older women keep repeating. Nobody has it all figured out. Not at 25, not at 35. Honestly, not even at 65. The difference is that older women stop pretending they do. One lesson that comes up over and over is this: being liked is not the same as being respected.
Get ready with me as I go to a solid core and beyond yoga exercise class, and let's talk about the 5 things I wish I'd known in my 20s and 30s at 61. Here we go. It's not sexy, but the number one rule I wish I'd known in my 20s was that figuring out your sleep habits is literally everything. Getting 8 to 10 hours almost every single night, having it as dark as possible in your room, wearing a sleep mask, putting earplugs in. If you get your sleep right, so many other things are right in your life just by that one habit. Number 2 could really be number 1, probably should be number 1. And I think your mindset has to do with everything, and you should start early. Waking up every single day and redeciding that you are going to visualize your life in a forward propulsion, not thinking that things happen to you. You want to be in control of your mindset every single day. And I'm not saying that things always work out your way. They don't. But you can either have it be a speed bump that your car barely even notices, or you can see the speed bump, drop the keys, leave the car, and walk away, which is not a growth mindset. Everything that has ever happened to my life, I have felt like I have a growth mindset for me to see as a challenge and to work through and to barely notice the speed bump. Think about your mindset. I know this is going to be a tough one, but trust your gut. Be a critical thinker and trust your intuition, your gut, whatever you want to call it, is a good thing. If you are someone that just listens to what everybody says around you and does what everybody says around you, which means you're kind of a sheep and you don't do your own research and you don't think deeply and think critically, you are just going to be floating in the wind based on anybody else's strong personality. So have your own strong personality. It is not a bad thing. It is actually a great thing. Number 4 is get your food right. No seed oils, no safflower, no heated, over-processed, bleached, hexane-induced canola, soybean, no seed oils. If it wasn't around 100 years ago, don't eat it. Just don't. If the package doesn't have ingredients that you understand, if there's more than like 5 ingredients that you can't pronounce, don't eat it. It's virtually impossible to go out to dinner or eat on a plane unless we all decide that we're going to demand cleaner food. That is actually not that hard. If we all say we want McDonald's to start frying in tallow like they did 50 years ago, which is a much cleaner oil to fry in and is not an oxidative stress bomb on your body, then McDonald's will start doing it. And so will all the rest of the fast food restaurants. If we decide that we want organic and really clean, regenerative, farm fresh, local produce and meat and no bleaching of chicken, if we stop buying and start telling every store, I won't buy your chicken unless it is locally farm raised, no GMO food, no hot grains, all of these things, they will have to do it. Enough of us demand it, and I think change will happen. I don't know if this is 3, 4, or 5, but, it could be exchanged for number 1, but exercise. Exercise is important to, and not just a long life, a thriving life. I do not want to be a 61-year-old who feels like my best years are behind me. I want to feel vibrant and mobile and independent every single day. And what does that mean? That means working out 5 to 7 days a week, lifting heavy weights. You have to build muscle, being as strong as possible and agile and flexible. So I find 5 different modalities that I love to do. Reduce overuse injuries, reduce boredom, stay excited about your workouts. Some of them should be taxing, which means lifting heavier weights. Some of them should be aerobic, which means walking at least 4 miles an hour. Flexibility, some sort of yoga stretching class. Having a vibrant exercise life is going to propel you forward. I wish I knew when I was in my 20s and 30s was to get these systems so solid that they become part of me, not something that you're racing to fix in your 40s or 50s. Just have it be there. Just make them like they are breathing, and then you are going to lead a thriving life no matter whether you're 20, 40, 61, or 90. All of it adds up to the life where you get to decide how you want to live it. So that's your mindset, right? And now let's go and get a workout in. Hi guys, Morgan Schick. I am about 8 months into being 60, so I'm closer to 61 than I am to 60. And I thought, let's do a check-in. Let's talk about what I have learned since I turned 60 and things that I wish I had known. Being 60 has taught me really do care less about what people think. Learn now to follow your gut, your research, be a critical thinker. Don't be a follower. Think for yourself and be a leader. Start now, because if you don't, you just get wrapped up in everybody else's drama, everybody else's expectations, and you are like, I'm so unhappy. So start young to be myopic on your own gut instinct, critical thinking, and belief system. Okay? Number 2 is simple. Get toxins in all shapes and forms out of your life. I'm talking about ultra-processed food, ultra-processed clothing. Get it out. Imagine you were born 100 years ago and there weren't all these PFAs, microplastics, all that. Just get it out of your life, and then also get toxic people out of your life. You know them. Get them out of your life. Number 3, invest in you. That should be maxing out your 401k, saving money every single month, living below your means, spending wisely, and on a great gym membership, one that is in a gym you are going to be inspired to go to, or an at-home workout. I have an online workout that I love, a yoga place I love, my running, got great running shoes. How you take care of yourself. Do you need a massage? Is that going to make you more relaxed? Things that are good habits, investing in you, and are not necessarily bad habits. Like, you are in a high pressure job, don't lean on alcohol. Don't lean on eating super late. Those don't serve you in your later life. Invest in yourself when you're young. So when you're old, a lot of people ask me like, oh, what do? You're 60 and your skin looks like this and your body looks like that. No, it didn't just start at 58. I have been a runner and an exerciser my entire life. I have always cared about my skin and my hair, clean food, getting my nails done. I invest in myself so then I am more fulfilled to be able to bring my best self to everything else I do. Number 4 is always going to be in my top. Figure out your sleep. If you're not sleeping because you're working too much or you're partying too much or you're too stressed out, nothing you do is going to be able to fix that for your future. Nothing. Get yourself a great silk sleep mask that fits you. That silicone earplugs, shape them in a cone. Don't shape them cylindrically, because I've been to the ER getting a plug out. You don't want to do that. Some sort of blackout shade so you're not getting any light. You want your room to be a little bit cooler. Turn off all light, including your phone, an hour before bedtime. I find that reading makes me go to sleep. So whatever your ideal sleep amount is, get it. If you're not sleeping, you're not renewing, refreshing, your immune system is not at peak, digestion, your brain activity is not at peak, like, get your sleep together. Keep that consistent. It will pay off probably more than anything else listening to you right now. So you can stop now if you want. Number 5 is be self-watering. Have your own hobbies, have your own things that inspire you. Bring yourself up to happiness and choose joy every single day, even if things are terrible. Choose to see joy, because it really does make a difference. If you are constantly waking up and thinking that the world is against you, everyone is against you, you're manifesting that. It's just in every pore and energy that you put out. If you wake up every single day and think, this is a first day of the rest of my life, and I choose to be joyous, to find greatness in everyone around me, and everything I'm doing, I'm going to be inspired by, it will also manifest. Last but not least, what 61 is going to bring me, I'm grateful for every single minute I'm here.
Nobody warns women that one day they wake up and they realize that half their personality was survival mode. The smile, the over-explaining, the it's okay, and reading the room before you even walk into it. Knowing everybody's mood, keeping the peace, and keeping everybody else comfortable. Being the reliable one, the understanding one, the flexible one. And after decades of doing that, you start asking yourself a really uncomfortable question. Who would I have been if I didn't spend my whole life managing everybody else's comfort? Not somebody's wife, not somebody's mother, not the employee fixing everything, and not the person that carries everybody else emotionally. Just me. I think a lot of women over 50 are finally realizing we spent so much time surviving and becoming who everybody else needed. We never really became ourselves.
5 things I regret in my life at the age of 61. And before you all pile in the comments, yes, I do know we did things differently back in the day. But looking back now, these are the ones that really sting. And if you've not met me before, I'm Amanda, my husband's Graham, and we're the Griffs. And this is just our little corner of TikTok. And I'm going to be very honest. 5 things I regret. I can't do anything about them, so I'm moving on. So let's get into them. Number 1, letting my babies cry it out. You know, that was the advice back then. Toughen them up. Don't spoil them. And I did it. And I regret it every single day when I think about it. You know, I have watched my daughter and my daughter-in-law bring up their children with a completely different approach. And I do regret it. My eldest daughter, she screamed non-stop, and she had a big Silver Cross pram. And I remember my mum saying, you come over and stay with me and we will stop her screaming. She must have been 4 or 5 months old. And she put that pram in the garage. Now, she wasn't outside. Don't think she was outside. There was a garage and then the scullery and then into the kitchen, and everybody lived in the kitchen a bit like this. And she put her in there. And it was awful. She said, just let her cry. And I regret it. Don't come after me with hate. That is how it was done. And I want you to tell me what you regret as well. But I do regret letting my children cry it out. And I wish the advice had been different back then. Number 2, not talking about my mental health. And again, things were different. After number 1 son was born, I had the most horrendous postnatal depression, and I was medicated. And that was the only intervention offered. I will never forget sitting in the garden with my son on a lovely sunny day, and a friend who was a doctor called to see me, and he came with a purpose. And he looked at me and he said, you need to go and see your GP. So I did go, and they medicated me. And later on, when I was due to go back to work after my mat leave, I couldn't go because I was so medicated, and I went to the occupational health team and they medicated me more. And I wish there had been the options that we have now, and I wish I'd had the ability to talk about it. Number 3, staying in unhappy situations, and not just staying, but never ever telling a soul I was unhappy, because well, I was a people pleaser, wasn't I? I smiled and I got on with it, and I made everything look perfect to anybody looking in. So when I did finally walk away from things, people were shocked because they just had no idea. And number 4, diet and lifestyle. Now, honestly, I have spent most of my life walking through the doors of Slimming World, Weight Watchers, gyms, back and forth, up and down, punishing myself for my body, wishing I'd just accepted myself sooner. And you know something, had we talked about the mental health, I might have addressed the people pleasing and the anxiety, and that might have been resolved. They're all quite linked, aren't they? We have come a long way, and we might moan and groan about life these days, and it's hard for our youngsters, but in some respects things are better, and we have to acknowledge that. And number 5, not prioritising me more. My kids, my husband, my family, they always came first, always. Griff and I were talking the other day and remembering a time when we lived in a farm around the corner, and I literally wore the same clothes for as long as I can remember. Every photograph I'm in the same red t-shirt and baggy greens. But I think I was overweight, and that was all that fitted. And because I couldn't bring myself to spend energy or money on me. And looking back, I wish I'd seen myself as worth it. So those are my 5. But I'll tell you something, I bet you've got yours too. So please tell me, what's the one thing you regret looking back now? But let's not forget, don't waste your time focusing on the regret. Be grateful for where you are now and plan to do things better in the future. That's how I get through it all. But they're my 5. What are your 5?
Things as an almost 60-year-old that I wish I knew when I was 20. Okay, this is actually kind of serious because this did happen to me when I was 20. But at almost 60, I can tell you that it doesn't happen to me anymore. I don't do it anymore. I used to actually believe when I was younger, I always loved, I was an athlete. I always loved working out. I still love gyms, but I adored being in the gym. I adored working out. I adored working with weights. And I used to actually, God, I think I used to even say it, not buy it, but I think I used to even say it, no pain, no gain. Sorry. You don't have to kill yourself in the gym. Too much stress on the body, too much stress on the muscles is not appropriate. That's how I ended up, actually, the first time that I hurt my back, seriously hurt my back, was in the gym. So, I used to walk into the gym as a youngster, 18, 19, 20. And I used to think, oh my God, I have to suffer. Oh my God, I have to struggle. It has to be so painful. Exercise does not have to be painful. It truly does not. In fact, if it is not painful, it is much more pleasant and it is much better for the body. I'm not saying that you don't want to work your muscles. You do want obviously it shouldn't feel good, if you're working your muscles, and because you do, as you get older, you have to work your muscles, the bones have to stay strong, the joints have to everything has to stay strong. But that thing that I used to do when I was like 19 or 20, where I would kill myself in the gym and end up putting way too many weights for my body, that's how I ended up eventually, having back surgery and really hurting myself. So that is one thing that these days I don't believe anymore, and I don't preach.
And here's another surprise. The happiest older women aren't necessarily the ones who followed the traditional checklist.
I'm 68 years old, and I know a thing or two about aging because I'm doing it actively. I'm also fighting it actively every single day. I've put together what I call my hierarchy of aging tips, and I'm going to run through them for you. So this is a little bit longer video. If you don't want that, that's okay. Run along. We're okay. But if you're an old broad like me, listen up, because this might be helpful for you. Number one, the first thing on the aging hierarchy stack, if you will, is protein. Yes, we need it. Do your research. If you think, oh yeah, everybody's just always talking about protein, there's a reason why. That protein is protective of our muscles and of our bones. Those muscles and bones go together like a hand in glove. The muscles almost like the armor, if you will, around that bone. And when you are doing enough protein and eating enough protein, your body responds with more energy, with more protein synthesis for your muscle and for building your bone. The interesting thing about it isn't as hard as you think it is. It's not like you have to sit there and eat like a, humongous steak every single night. It's just adding a little bit more, 3-4 ounces more of protein to your plate every day. Protein first, that's all. Research is there, go check it out. Number 2 is resistance training. Can I just tell you, I hate weight training, but I do it. And I do it because I have to do it, because I'm going to keep my bones, because I'm going to keep my strength, because in 10 years, when I'm 78 years old, I am going to pull myself up off my toilet all by myself. I will not need assistance. This is how critical resistance training is. I just saw somebody on, I think it was Instagram, talking about if you are not going to resistance train, then go pick out your nursing home, because that's where you're headed. That's how, this was a doctor, by the way, that's how severe this doctor holds that position. And I thought that was a good one too, by the way. The other one is sleep and stress. And I will tell you, when you are sleep deprived, you are not only are you not doing anybody any favors, but you're not doing your body any favors either. Your body needs that sleep. Our recovery is slower. Everything that we do as we get older becomes slower. So therefore, that sleep becomes more and more important. I used to go 7-8 hours. I am now more 8 to 9 hours. And it makes a difference. And by the way, if you ever find yourself in a place where you just haven't gotten enough sleep, take an extra scoop of creatine that day, and I will tell you, it sure helps. And that also has been studied. Hormones. Well, hormone replacement therapy is a thing. And believe it or not, there's a lot of new studies out there, a lot of new doctors out there who are finally looking at the research clearly, as the old 2021 research has been debunked. And I would have a good talk with somebody about that, even at this age. Yes, I'm on hormone replacement therapy, and I have been since I was 52. Like I said, they will have to pry it out of my cold, dead hands before I give it up. That's how I feel about it. Lastly is collagen and collagen support. Here's what you need to know. We don't eat nose to tail anymore. We don't get the collagen that we need in our bodies. Collagen it's in every tissue of your body. You have more collagen in your bone than you have calcium, by the way. So getting the collagen in is crucial. Take a supplement. It's not that big of a deal, unless you're going to be like sucking marrow out of bones and eating cartilage and skin. Probably not. Most of us don't. And we need that collagen. That collagen is very, very protective. Even for gut health and all the rest of it, it's incredible. It also keeps your skin really nice, and your hair and your nails and your bones. I had my DEXA scan at 65 and they said I had the bones of a 30-year-old. My hair, skin, and nails, they look good. I will tell you this. I have been on collagen myself since 2015. So, you know, a good 11 years. It has made a huge difference. And I would strongly suggest that you take it into consideration yourself. I use Native Path. It's in my shopping cart, or rather my showcase, so you can go take a look. Collagen support.